Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hi everyone. My name is Marhamati Darus Elias Mat Junius from School of Government, University Utara Malaysia. Today, I will be presenting my alternative assessment of GMJTK 2013 Sociology of Development. In this video, I will start by analyzing the current course structure and also the learning context that reflects on my proposed redesign using the backward design model, and also finally I will share my reflection on how this process can enhance and the learning to my student. This course, JMJTK 2013 Sociology of Development, is one of the core subjects for the Bachelor of Development Management in School of Government, University Utara Malaysia. It is actually examining the fundamental question about the sociology of development and analyzing the development through the conceptual framework and also sociology theories and how that is can formulation to the national policy and also development program in Malaysia. At the end of the course, students will be able to discuss the basic concept of sociology of man and society and their relationship to development issue and problem. The second is identify the importance of sociology in the success of development strategy and also the program. The third one is describe the difficulty in developing and implementing solution based on conceptual framework. And the fourth is explain the sociological element that needs to be considered in the development project implementation. So therefore, this subject is actually transfer skill include the knowledge, understanding, interpersonal and also communication skill as well as leadership, autonomy and also responsibility. This course actually is the cover the topic of such as the concept of development, theoretical perspective, urbanization and industrial sociology, rural development in Malaysia, and of course it will develop the experience and also the new economic policy. The assessment of these courses is divided with two. The first one is the coursework that we conceive of 3 assignments, total is 60%, and another one is a final assessment with a 40%. Okay. Let me share to you background of my student. In my class, consists of 25 of students from the Bachelor of Development Management program, and currently they are semester 2. They are beginning in sociology and still building of their conceptual understanding of the subject. So of these students, 6 of them is the male and 19 of them are female, and with the majority is being Malay and one of the same student. Since this is the early stage in their degree, most of them are beginning in the sociology. They are still in the learning of the basic concept and how to apply them. They enjoy learning through the discussion, visual materials and example from a real situation in Malaysia, such as in the issue in urbanization and also rural development project and also industrial growth in the different states. But one of their challenges in the linking theory to the real life. This is what I rely for and based on my observation. So when discussing the framework like modernization theory, for example, or dependency theory, people can actually usually recall the definition. But it's hard for them to explain how this idea to relate the problem, such as, for example, income gaps, environmental damage, and urban-rural migration. So because of this, some of the topic, especially abstract one, is like sociological perspective, can feel less interesting to them. That's why I also use one of the method is I'm using the mixed method, which is using the mixed language by Bahasa Malaysia and also English in class. So I can explain complex idea in the way that more comfortable and relatable for them. To address the challenge, I choose the backward design model by Whitney and also Mike Teagle 2005. I decided to use the back design models because it ensures that everything in the courses, including the learning outcome and also assessment and activity, is connected and aligned in the same direction. In a traditional approach, we often start with the content, the plan, how to teach it, and finally consider the assessment. The risk is that what we teach and what we test might not fully align. The backward design model is all about the beginning with the end goal in mind. Instead of planning topic first, we start by identify the desired learning process, what we want students to achieve by the end of the course. Backward design begins with the end in mind instead of starting with lectures and activity. I first identify the learning outcome I want my student to achieve, then design the assessment to evaluate those outcomes, and finally plan the learning activity to prepare students for success. So, I choose this model because it ensures a constructive alignment among outcome, assessment, and activity. This model also encourage moving beyond surface level learning to help students develop higher order thinking skills in line with the Malaysian Qualification Framework MQF 2.0. From there, we determine how to measure success using appropriate assessment. And finally, we design the learning activity that will guide students toward those goals. So this approach actually guarantee that everything from activity to assessment align with the learning outcome. So besides that, this approach works well for the sociology of development because I don't just want the student to memorize the theory, but I want them to apply this idea to real-world development issue, think critically, and propose solution. So most importantly, backward design helped me to redesign the course so that the student not only memorize sociology theories but also learn how to apply critical to contemporary development issue in Malaysia and the broader third world context. Therefore, backward design focus on the three stages. The first one, identify desired learning outcome. The second one, determine acceptable evidence of learning through assessment. And the third one, plan teaching and learning activity that align with both outcome and assessment. So by starting with that, I can make sure that assessment and authentic activity are meaningful so that my student not only understand the sociology theory but practically analyzing the development issue in Malaysia. So the first one is I will do that in the redesign. I will refine the learning outcome to make them more focused on the application, redesign the assessment to be more authentic, and then align the teaching activity to support those assessments. This will ensure that the three components, outcome, assessment, and activity, are very constructively aligned. To the redefine the learning outcome emphasize, the first is the application of the sociology theory to the real-world cases. The second is the critical evaluation of development strategy. The third, problem solving based on the sociological framework. And the third, reflection on social issue in Malaysia development context. So these shifts ensure that the student not only learn concept but also demonstrate higher order thinking and practically analysis skill. The assessment are redesigned as follows. The first is the assignment individual, 20%, a critical review of a journal article related to the development sociology, where students compare it with real cases in Malaysia. This is actually will develop an analytical and also writing skill. The second one is a group assignment with 30%, a case study presentation on them, themes such as urbanization, rural development, inequality, and students will link the theory to the practice and work collaborative and also enhance the teamwork and communication. And the third is the group presentation, is a short of reflection video or infographic explain how sociological concepts apply to the chosen development issue. This is actually integrate the creativity and also digital skill. And the last one is the final assessment, 40%, which is that we are going to look at instead of the only theory-based exam, the exam will include application question where students analyze sociological elements in development project and policy. Therefore, this assessment makes balance theory, critical thinking, collaboration, and also creativity. So, after we talk about the assessment, I will go forward to the teaching and learning activity. To support the new assessment, I will integrate interactive teaching and learning activity, such as one of that is the case study discussion on Malaysia, urbanization, inequality, and rural development. The second is a problem-based learning, task where students propose solution to development challenge. The third is a role play and debate session to encourage critical thinking and active participation. The third is the community-based mini project that allows students to observe real issue and apply theory. And the last one, of course, we are in the AI. We are in the revolution AI and so forth. So we are talking now about the online tools such as the Padlet and Kahoot and any of the tools that we can use to get the collaborative reflection and also knowledge sharing. So this activity is make the subject more engaging and help students to connect theory with practice. Through this redesign, I have learned that effective teaching requires alignment between the outcome assessment and also activity. So backward design helped me to stay focused on what might truly matter student learning. By emphasizing application and critical engagement, I can help students move beyond memorizing theory to actually using them in analysis and solving development problems. So this redesign also strengthens transferable skills like teamwork, communication, creativity, and leadership, which are essential for the graduate in the field of development management. So, in conclusion, this alternative assessment redesigned for GMJTK 2013 Sociology of Development has shown me the importance of aligning outcome assessment and learning activity through the backward design model. By refining learning outcome, introduce authentic assessment and creating engaging activity, I hope to provide my students with a deeper, more meaningful learning experience. Thank you guys for watching my presentation and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and I look forward to continuous improving my teaching practice to support student success. Bye!